Well, let's see if it's going to work because I have no idea. And, oh, yeah. Okay. Let her rip, baby.
Cruising down the back roads, windows roll low, with the music blasting, bass and that flow. Remembering the bonfire, laughing with my crew, jamming on the corner, soaking up the view. Every beat's a memory, every song's a spark, feeling so alive, yeah, out here in the dark. Cranking up the radio, rolling through life, loving making memories, music cranks high. Do you feel that freedom? Can you hear the call? Those back road memories calling to us all. The dreams are still burning, laughter is the same, sound still echo loud, can you hear that name? Life was so electric, every day the song, hearts on the highway, we that do no wrong. Chasing every sunset, world spin around, living for the moment, man, we're going down. I can feel that fire still burning in my soul, when nobody's watching, I bring my rock and roll. Those back road memories calling to us all. Calling to us all. Down the back roads.
What's up, guys? How is everyone this fine evening? I had the same problem Andy did yesterday. Yesterday? Tuesday? What is today? Friday. Yes, today's Sunday. He had the problem Friday night where it didn't. Yeah, I had the same damn problem. So, if Andy, if you're happen to listen to this video, I'll tag you in the title. But if you happen to listen to this video, I figured it out. So whenever you start the stream and you've got all the channels set up that you want to send it out to, if it sends it to whatever channels it sends it to, it'll get stuck on some channels. And if it gets stuck on some channels that are not the important channels, like YouTube, for example, just let it finish, close that window. When it says it failed, try again later. Don't try again. Just close that little window and go ahead and go live, and it'll go live with the channels that it was able to connect to. If you try to do it again, you're going to create doubles and triples and quadruples of everything. And then no one's going to be able to, it's going to be messed up. It's going to be sitting there waiting on you to come on because you're supposed to be broadcasting, see? So that's what's happening. It's just the connection of the multiple channels that causes the issue. So now that I've got past that, I wanted to cover that at the very beginning for Andy. If you happen to see it, if you guys happen to talk to him, let him know what I just said so he'll know for his next show if it starts having that issue. Anyway, so on to the chat. Now, the guys, first of all, and thank you, Joseph, for helping me out and letting me know which one was active. That made it possible for me to get this going because it was a kind of a train wreck there for a minute. I was outside, busy, switching out speakers today, and tuning, mainly tuning. And tuning, that's an infinite process. I was tuning, I was recording video. I've got lots of footage. There's a video upcoming of the change out, the process that I got on video. I'm going to probably get some more stuff, compile it into something that's watchable for your eyeballs to see. Got to get your eyeballs happy. And then I'm going to put that out so you guys will be able to enjoy it. Let me adjust my lighting just a little bit. Now let's see what is happening in the chat. We'll talk about the tuning process here in a minute. So Bobby B said, yo, Robert is in the house. El Fuego from the Pacific Northwest is in the house. BSC is in the house. El Fuego says, I hope all is well. Yep. And to PSC. PSC getting stronger. PSC's a tough old goat, so he'll be fine. He'll be fine, y'all. He'll be out mowing the yard with a push mower tomorrow. Y'all just got to watch him. Good evening from New Mexico. And I don't have any idea how to pronounce your name, but we're just going to call you USA. That's the only part I can read. And you're in New Mexico, so that's good. So you're in the USA. New Mexico is a state that I've often wanted to move to. I love that state. Every time I've been through it in my big truck, I've loved that state. It's a beautiful state. If you guys have never been to New Mexico, go. It's a lot like Southern California without all the crazy people. So there's that. El Fuego said, I missed 40 minutes of Living Now with Andy on Friday. See, I missed the whole damn show and ended up watching it as a rerun. I was very, very sad because it was a good show. And I know Andy was frustrated like crazy. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, man, I got it fixed. I figured out the problem. So it's not a fix for the problem, but it is a patch for the problem. So we're going to work with what we got. And I appreciate you again, Joseph. So Franco Quaid said hello. Jason's in the house. He said hello. PSA said, I want to get this out of the way, Bobby. Not put up the action like I'm dead. PSC, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there on the live stream. It's a wife problem, not a Bobby problem. It's a Bobby wife problem. I'm going to leave it at that. There's no negativity, nothing like that. It's just an issue with family on that side. It's causing a kind of a thing. So he's not ignoring you. That's what I'm trying to say. He's just, yeah, it's just there's nothing wrong. Just take it easy. Things will be okay. That's all I'm trying to tell you. I'm not going to get deep into that. I'm just going to leave it at that. Know that Bobby's not mad at you or anything like that. He just can't talk to you because it'll anger his wife or whatever. She's kind of crazy. He's a crazy wife, but he loves her and she loves him. So there you go. We work with what we've got, right? And I shouldn't even be telling you that much, but I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to understand that it's not Bobby. It's just a thing. So, let's see what else is here. Remember for 4 months, PSC. You got it, brother. Stunt wall. Yes, Robert. We are working on the stunt wall tomorrow. The stunt wall is coming together in we had a plan and we had a start, but there's things that are kind of in the works now that may shift it around a little bit. And I'll tell you about it when you're here tomorrow. But you guys just know that it's a thing. It's going to be cool. If I can make all of this stuff that I've got in my brain, if I can make my fingers do what's in my brain, y'all are going to love it. It's going to be badass. Just straight up badass. So you've got to stay tuned. There'll be more videos coming up on that. And me and Robert's having a blast doing this stuff. To say beautiful here. Live near the mountains, man. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful state. Jay Shipe said had fun at Triple Fest yesterday. Didn't I wasn't aware. I don't follow much outside of the state. I mean, even the stuff that's in the state, if it's not close, I don't, because there's so many shows. If you guys want to get involved in car audio world and the competitions and the events and stuff, the Midwest is where it is absolutely at, guys. Because we have way more stuff than I can go through or go to. All knobs to the right, Adrian said. Yeah, no doubt, man. I'll check that out, PSC. PSC says I got a big unboxing video on his mids. I'll have to go check that out, man. Good deal. A fuego. A fuego. A fuego's buying tacos, guys. Check out my new taco video.
Crushing on these tacos, we buy the fiesta. Guac on the side, man, you know it's the best. Lettuce and salsa, stack it high, make it pop. Crunch in my mouth, can't stop, won't drop. Sliver scissor air, flavors cold is so sweet. After one taco, I'm in for a repeat. Bite after bite, got me dancing in my seat. Hitting up the taqueria, can't face defeat. Taco love in every single bite. Feeling good, every feast so.
Tacos, baby. Fuego dropping the super chat. What's better than working on an audio bill with your buds? Follow up by that grilled teriyaki chicken on a free grill? Yeah, baby. Dude, yeah. I love my teriyaki chicken. And I wish I had some, or I'd grill some up. And we would eat some tomorrow, Robert, but I don't have any on tap right now. I should have arranged that. Robert says, right on. Appreciate the tacos, El Fuego. You the man, and much love going out there. Are you going to add any more batteries to the stunt wall? It's kind of a thing. I don't know for sure. Because I can't give away too much because I got a surprise coming if it goes through. And if the thing that I'm wanting to do goes through, I may have to add a battery back there for a specific reason. It'll be connected only to separate stuff. It won't actually be powering the front stage. But I don't know yet. It's a possibility. So that's all I can tell you about that. I don't want to give away what I'm going, because if it doesn't work out, I don't want you guys to know, oh man, why didn't you just, because I'm stupid and I'm old. Okay. I'm old, man. My brain don't work. I would have missed the show entirely, but my wife come out there and said, hey, dumbass, it's like 6:40. I'm like, oh, well, crap. Let me get my shit together. That's how that went, man, because I straight up was out there, freaking pushing buttons and listening to music and shooting. I was just caught up in the thing, man, doing the tuning thing. So, yeah. Jay Shipe said, who the hell wants to go to Ohio, though? Yeah, man, that's a long dang drive, man. I've been to Ohio, been to Cincinnati a whole bunch of times. Oh, I've been actually all over Ohio because we delivered eggs up there, or we picked them up or delivered them. I don't remember, but I had a bunch of egg runs in Ohio. I don't remember whether I was picking them up or delivering them, though. It never really matters. In a truck, you just, you're going to do something with eggs at one place and you're going to do something with eggs at a different place. And then you're going to do, you just forget. But I think I was picking them up there, actually. Can't remember. Bobby B said, chicken dinner. Yeah, baby. Taco Bell. I started to do a Taco Bell theme, but I decided to go a different route and bring in the video clip that you're seeing on the video. It's actually a piece of a short made by a taco place here in town in Springfield. So it's a local taco joint. And they do really, really cool, like straight out of Mexico stuff. Their cooking is nothing like Taco Bell. It's like tacos that you would eat if you were in Mexico. burritos and tacos and all that stuff. And their food is absolutely astonishingly good. And I can't remember the name of it. So that'd be something I'll add to it next time. Taco Bell. I'm listening to you, working on my bill. You keep on working, Bobby. You know, we got to get things done. You know, and you may have to, you know, you may have to ship something to me and have me ship it to you or something, you know, so you can avoid things. But you know, it's all good, man. And I like watching the progress. And you know, I'll tell you something. When it comes to doing something like car audio, if you don't have all the parts you need, but you do have a couple of parts, you'll spend a whole lot more time making those parts really, really good and doing the thing really well, because you can't just run to the next thing. If you got all this candy sitting over here, you're going to be just shoveling it in your face until you get to the end. And then hopefully it looks good. But you know, what's going to happen? We don't know. We just don't know. Jay said, dang, you got AI video too. No, the video is not AI. That video is not AI. That video is me editing out some stuff that I stole off the internet. That's what that video is. Just a lot of fancy editing. The music is all AI. I wrote the lyrics, of course, and I spent about 300 different tries to get something that I liked. And I finally got the right information across to the AI to make it do the thing that I had in my mind. But I'm going to tell you, it's like trying to teach. Imagine if you have a cat, right? And you have a stick laying on the living room floor, and you want the cat to go over there and pick up the damn stick. Just pick it up. Okay, the cat can easily pick the stick up, and the cat's intelligent enough to understand to pick the stick up. But communicating what you want that cat to do to the cat is about as hard as getting the AI to produce the music that you're looking for. You just keep hammering until it does a closer thing to what you want, then a closer thing and a closer thing and a closer thing. And you keep playing and playing. Finally, the cat bites the stick and you're like, oh, I made it. But then he drops it. That ain't it. You know, you got to keep trying until you get the whole thing to happen. Working with AI is a whole lot more time consuming than working with a group of people. And I've done both. So, yes, we would have had that shit knocked out in 15, 20 minutes because I already had the lyrics written. But it's a lot of fun, and being able to produce a song without anybody in the house, just by myself, is a thing. And it's a thing that's not going away. And so you guys will have to get used to it, unfortunately, like it or not. It's here to stay. I promise you, it's not going away. And the same thing with videos. There's going to be YouTube. There's already a ton, probably a tenth of the YouTube videos on the internet are straight up complete AI videos. You can literally go to a site and you can put in what you want the video to be about. And if you pay the premium price for it, it can give you full content. It can generate video for you, literally generate video about the subject. It can pull video clips from the storage banks and all that stuff and compile it, give you an AI voice that can read a script. It can even write the script. You can literally hit go and tell it what you want the video to be about, and it can just pump them out. That's a thing. It's not changing. It sucks, but it is a thing. So, yeah, man, it's really bad. And the AI voices are getting really, really good. And we're training it, right? So the fact that I'm on here right now talking about this stuff, there is nothing whatsoever stopping an AI from going, well, this is how you do a live, right? And it would literally be able to mimic exactly what I'm doing, the video, background, the whole thing. I could be straight up an AI. And it would video and it would emulate everything. Like whenever you get the pops, it emulates that. It emulates bad pronunciation. It emulates sound of me moving away from the mic and back to the mic. You literally couldn't tell. And it's getting better and better, guys. So Bobby said, it's all good. This soon shall pass. Or Bobby B. Yeah. Thank you, PSC. for being an understanding individual that you are, and a hero's path, dropping a fiver. Taco time, baby.
So I'm crushing on these taco, every bite a fiesta. Guac on the side, man, you know it's the best. Lettuce and salsa, stack it high, make it pop. Crunch in my mouth, can't stop, won't drop. Sliver scissor in, flavor's cold is so sweet. After one taco, I'm in for a repeat. Bite after bite, got me dancing in my seat. Hitting up the taqueria, can't face defeat.
Taco love in every single bite. Feeling good, every feast all night.
I do love it. So, Heroes Path said, super chat, 5 tacos. Is there a difference between running the HO alternator wire to the battery versus the alternator's positive terminal post? There is, because there will be a tiny amount of voltage difference between the battery and the post. It's going to be so small, it's not going to matter because you're running like 2.5 feet of alt gauge. The voltage is going to drop a hundredth of a volt. It really won't matter. If you want to really, the ideal scenario, if you're going to have a sensor wire, if it's a wire that controls how much output the alternator does, okay, running that wire all the way to the back wherever your amps are and your battery back there. If you got a battery real close to the amplifiers, it's a long ways away, and connecting it there might give you a better reading, but because the voltage will be lower back there. But also that long run on that wire is also going to lower the voltage that it's seeing. So it's kind of a hit and miss. I've been running it on the alternator since I got the thing. There's no reason why you would run it anywhere else, but you could. And in theory, and it's only my theory, I think Andy talked about this once in one of his videos, and he has the same understanding that I do, that connecting it to a long ways away to where the battery is in the back should net you a better voltage reading, a slightly higher or a lower voltage reading, which I mean the alternator will do things quicker than it would. It might actually be a better scenario, if you will. So that answer is complicated. So that's all I got for you. But yeah, and I would run it. I just ran mine straight to the alternator tap, but it is what it is, man. So Eddie said, what do you think about the Solo X8? I love Kicker's square subs, and there is an inherently a problem. One of those problems is, one of those problems is that you have to cut a square hole, and it's not a square hole; it's a square with rounded corners, and so it's a tricky hole. We're used to making circles. And it's not a circle or a square. It's kind of an in-between. So it's an awkward hole to cut, which means you pretty much got to build a custom box for these things. You cannot just go buy one unless it's made for the sub. So there's that problem. Also, kicker subs are not cheap, Is the output going to be more versus a round sub of the same measure? Yes. But the round sub of the same measure is going to be a lot less expensive. And so there's that. It is what it is. Now, what I like about the square sub is it utilizes the full baffle. I mean, you can really get a lot more cone area on your baffle. And that's a big freaking deal. You get 20% per sub, it's like after 5 subs, you've just added another sub. You have 6 subs, right? You put 5 in and you get the same effect as 6 rounds. That's big, man. It's a lot, So, and then in kickers, their design, their engineering, their research, their development is all way up here, and they're doing all this work in house. They're not pulling parts off the shelf and measuring it up and figuring it out. They're actually back there, hammering things together and then taking them apart and putting them back together and trying them and testing them and all this stuff. Their R&D is second to nobody. Nobody. The only company that I would say that's even remotely close in some ways would be Sundown. Sundown's R&D is good. Their subwoofer design is very, very good. I don't think they're on the level with Kicker. They don't need to be for what they do, though. So, yeah, what do I think about that? I don't know. Specific sub, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to be able to have an opinion. But I'm all about Kicker Square subs. If you have a situation where you're limited on baffle room, they're great, and if you're willing to pay the tax to get into that company, you're going to be happy with the product. You may have to bite the nail to get it, to buy it, but you're going to be happy with the products they have. That's all I can say about them, brother. I'm sorry. USA said, I'm just getting back into audio after a few years. I have an Ascendant Audio Mayhem 18 powered by a Kicker ZX 2500.1, dual batteries, MechMan 320 amp alternator. 2500 watts, dual batteries is going to be, yeah, that's a decent setup. I mean, I'm not dissing your setup. Your setup is great. I'm just figuring the numbers out on whether or not you're losing any power in the power supply. But with a 320 amp alt, okay, that's probably, here's the sad part. It might be making 200 amps or less at idle. So check into that. Find out what it's making at idle, which is 99% of the time you're listening to music. You're going to be sitting there idling, listening to music, or at least a lot of the time. And idle is what you're going to get your power from. So you ever wondered why whenever you're driving around, the car sounds louder than when you're sitting still? It's because you're charging the battery. You're actually running the alternator up at higher RPM while you're driving, and it's keeping the system hot. So that's why. It literally is why. It's the only difference. But, I mean, you're probably making 200 amps or so. I'm going to guess 220, which is enough to carry you through. The batteries are outputting about 200 amps. So you're probably just at the edge of what you can get away with. Batteries matter a lot, guys. I mean, you could have 2 320 amp alternators. And if your batteries are weak, if you have a weak battery setup, as soon as the bass hits, it's going to start pulling from that battery, right? The battery is going to be supplying it right up front. The alternator has to catch up. It has to start charging, and it's a delayed reaction. So that what you're getting initially is the hit off the battery. And if your battery's not providing enough power to get that for a couple of seconds, then you're going to have a weak initial impact. You'll notice a lot more impact from your bass and even your mids. You'll notice more impact with more storage and fast storage. And when you're dealing with AGMs are great. They have a big, huge tank, but a small hole. You got a small hole to fill them up and a small hole to dump them out. So in order to get 200 amps for any length of time out of a AGM, you got to have 2 AGMs, at least. And 3 is actually what I would suggest in that setup if you're running AGMs. I had the 8K in the back of my Tahoe. I was running 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was running 9 AGM batteries. So about, and that was okay. It did good with that. That was enough power to carry the 8K that I was running. So you could figure an AGM battery per every 1,000 watts of amplifier you're trying to power. And that's if you've got enough alternator to actually shove power back in all those batteries. Because you have to have, all of them can only give a little bit. So you have to have a whole lot, Where with lithium, 1 or 2 can give a whole lot. You only have to have a very small amount. Trade-offs. But yeah, that should be fine. You're gonna want to upgrade. If you upgrade amplifier any bigger than that, you're gonna probably want to add another AGM or switch over to a lithium bank. Box is double baffle all the way, around 6.5 cubes after displacement, and you're running Student Audio Mayhem 18. Got a single sub, 6.5 cubes. That should be nice. 120 square inches. I don't know the specs on that sub. Tuned around 35 hertz. Oh, that's mid bass, man. That's way too high. What are you doing? You're trying to play mids. It's hilarious, man. The more the it's a sad thing that's happened in my brain, guys. I mean, it really is. I get in there now, and I'm joking, but I'm also serious. Uh, I thought 35 hertz was nice and low and deep, right? And so I was calling anything over 40 or 45, 50 hertz mids. I was saying that's high bass, which was still really low bass. And now I'm playing the 24 and 25, and so anything up over 28 or 29 is it's high bass. It's like mids, man. It's like it's your mental like that's too high. I'm literally flipping through songs, going, "Oh, that's just 29 hertz. That's too high. I got to find something low." That's the way it is, and it's crazy, man. What happens to your brain? Basshead and old, they equal crazy things. So back in the 90s, El Fuego says, we had a small car audio shop every weekend. We had a small car audio show every weekend, like the Car Mill shows, the local shops in Seattle, Tacoma area. Miss those days. No more no shows anymore. We are actively having shows. Um, a couple of the bigger shops in town have a show every once in a while. We got one in a town a little ways away, and he's going. I mean, they're just everywhere. You could just about, if you lived in this area and you're willing to travel 50 or 60 miles, you could go to a show about every weekend throughout the whole warm part of the year. It's that many. We are on fire around here when it comes to car audio. Uh, Bobby B. I saw pictures. Bobby B is doing massive amounts of sound deadening in his doors, and I saw that. I checked it a while ago. I saw it come in. The bird landed and pooped it right there on the monitor. And he said he sent me a picture. I'm going to have to pull it up. I'll get to that next one. So let's see what Bobby B did. I'm going to try to make this work. I usually screw this up. I'm really good at screwing this up, Bobby. So let me make sure we ain't. Let's go back. Okay, that's just all right. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? Hang on a minute. Let's pull it up here. We're going to look at it. We're going to look at it. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? I don't know. There we go. We're looking at it, guys. We are looking at it. This is Bobby's door. If y'all don't know what Bobby's doing, if you've never seen his door, this is the inside of Bobby's door. And looking at things here, let's look at it closer. I don't know if I can look at it closer. I don't have anybody to enhance. Nobody's going to enhance for me today. All right, so, and there's stuff. Tabs are doing things. Okay, so we got, that looks like the factory setup there, and we've used ground zero deadener to deaden that plastic. That's a great idea because it can be noisy. And he's also taking the time to wrap connections and deaden things that might vibrate against other things. And that's a good setup. It's a pretty dang good job. What I usually do is just sit there and beat on the door with my hand, and then until I find something making some noise, and then I go in there and wrap some foam around it or something. He's got one more here showing. I guess I don't know what door that is, but he's actually wrapped these two bar. Oh, that's a folded flat bar. He's wrapped that bar No ringy dingies there. Got nice. I don't know what door that is, but it's covered. It is covered, baby. That's all that matters. So, yeah, I'm on Robert. See what happens? I'm broadcasting, y'all. Just for Robert, I'm on his profile right now. Look at there. There he is, right there. Get her done. So, Bobby, Bobby's on top of his game. I'm gonna see if there's anything else in here. Oh no, that's not him. That's from CustomSpeakerPods.com. I get and y'all, I get a lot of communication from a lot of different car audio stuff. I get a lot of communication from people and from companies, and not all of it is privy to the internet. Some of it is just A/B type of thing. So I gotta watch. I don't want to put everything stuff out there. Good job, Bobby. You're on top of your game, man. Breaking news. El Fuego. Breaking news. Bobby B has inspired my new audio room build. Time for me to step up my game. Well, we're going to get on top of that. Give me some pictures, El Fuego. I want to see what you got going on, brother. Let's see what else we got going on here. But do the doors look... Oh, my doors? I don't know. Let me see. Working on doors. Oh, you're talking about Bobby's doors. Well, you saw them. I saw them. I showed them to you. They were on video. That was what he's working on. And he just inches along, man. But he does it right. He does it right. You don't have to do it twice. He does it right. And I'm gonna let that one go. And yep, there you go. And it's days of our lives is what it's like. General Hospital as the world turns. Freaking y'all name some more. What's that? Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, Grey's Anatomy. My wife watches that. I told her, I said, look, if we're ever at a hospital and the people are acting like these retards on this damn show, get me the hell out of there. Just straight up get me out of there. I don't want to be in that building. I don't care if I just there to get a checkup. I don't want in that building. That building's people are crazy. Bobby B said 19 people in here. Only 2 likes. Hit that button. Slam it. Slam it like you mean it. Hit it like you mean it. I was looking at running dual alt gauge wire, El Fuego, but I noticed that 4 alt's about the same price and handles more current. Here's the thing, man. Look, I'm going to show you. Okay? Look at it. Look at it. Now, I'm also going to say, think about it. What's the expensive part about wire? Copper. If the 4 gauge is about the same price as the alt gauge, and it has 4 times as much or has double the copper or whatever, does it really have double the copper, or is it just a really big, thick jacket, or what? Why is it the same price? It shouldn't be. It should be significantly more because you're paying for the metal, and those numbers don't add up. I would say beware, buyer beware. Head over to Windy Nation or FlexWhip, and get some wire. You're going to get what you're paying for. They're actually going to get wire, And when I was doing the test with all the different wires, FlexWhip and Windy Nation were the only 2 that would not melt no matter what I did to them. And I mean, I gave them mortal hell on those tests. And those 2 did not deform, melt, do nothing. That wire and that casing stayed 100% on both those 2. The FlexWhip has the most flexible casing, so it's very soft. It's actually a welding wire, but it's really, really soft and easy to work with. Hence the name FlexWhip. And it's orange. That's what I would do. I would go that route. Enough, money, goods, tough casing. It's not going to get easily damaged. Not going to be a melting easy. You're going to get plenty of copper. That's how I roll. So if I'm going to buy it, that's what I'm going to do. Alex said, "What's up, OG? What's up? What's up? What's up?" I'm definitely an OG. A tricky hole is always a challenge. Yeah, baby. And sometimes the challenge is what makes it fun, though. Jason said, 4-alt is great, less voltage sag. Just make sure you can find lugs and connectors that can fit. Yeah, that's a thing. And like I said, make sure you're actually getting what you're paying for and not just getting taken to the cleaners. You know what I'm saying? Franco Quaid said, "You took the words right out of my mouth." Yep. What else we got here? Hang on a second. That stupid little thing pops up on here. There it goes. We'll work for food, Robert says. Hey, he's been talking about the chicken. See, I think Rockford has some great research and development, but they keep it a little secret. Rockford used to. I don't think they do much anymore. I don't think a lot of the companies that used to do R&D like that, I don't think they're carrying it like they used to. Kicker is still actively involved. They are deeply doing their own stuff, Sundown, I spoke on Sundown's behalf because there's a lot of companies that actually go through Sundown. Sundown designs their stuff and builds it. A lot of they're building stuff for a lot of different companies. So, yeah. But I don't know, man. I love Rockford. Always did. I don't know what they are anymore. I mean, I know JL is now Garmin, so who knows? Garmin may make great subwoofers though. So we'll find out, I suppose. Rockford. What happened to Phi Audio? Money. Guys, what happened to all those American companies? Money. So here's the thing. You've got a subwoofer company, right? You're making subwoofers. And it costs you, say it costs you $100 a piece to make a subwoofer. And you're selling them for $150 a piece. Okay? Guy down the road makes exactly the same subwoofer you had. He's getting it made in China for $10 a piece. He's selling it for $75 or $80 a piece. He takes all your business, all of it. He's making more money than you off each sale, and he's getting all the sales. Now you have to lower your prices. You can't even afford to pay for the equipment no more. You're having to cut wages. You're having to cut everything to try to stay with him. Finally, you just have to start buying your stuff from overseas too, because you can't keep up with them. And that's what happened. They just couldn't. The business model of building something in the United States, producing it in the United States, and selling it at a competitive price to 90% of the market is simply not going to work. It's just not. At least not right now. That may be changing, but it's also going to sting for a while it's changing. So the car audio world's definitely going to get hit from the Trump effect with the tariffs. But in the end, I think it's going to benefit from it. It's just going to be a saggy spot in the middle, and we're starting to slide into that. You may notice prices at some of those companies creeping up a little bit because they're having to pay a higher price to get stuff in. Because it's not China that pays the tariff. They don't pay them. It's the people that are buying the stuff over there. So the company here in the U.S. that's buying stuff and having it shipped over, they're paying that tariff to get the stuff. They're having to pay more to get it sent in, to get it over the border, right? It's not China that's paying that. They're not paying any of that. It's people that are buying stuff from China that are paying it. But, it is what it is. Yeah, if I had some really good looking stuff. I need an external voltage regulator. That's not a bad idea. But you also want to buy an alternator that is set up for an external voltage regulator. They're not all that way. You have to get one that's set up for it. Robert said, I can't afford it, but I like massive audio. Massive, sir, I'm not even going to get into it. I have stories. I have stories. I'll tell you those tomorrow. If you ask me about it, I'll tell you the massive story. Fuego says, thank Jason and Frank looking at new concepts, 4-alt, Colossus Flex, tuned OFC at $9 a foot. Colossus Flex. Yeah, if it's new concepts, it's going to be, the prices are going to be reasonable. And their quality is going to be good. If it's, as long as you're not buying their CCA wire, make sure you don't accidentally do that. Because I've had that happen before. I put wire in there and realized it was their CCA. But they're a quality company. They build quality wire, and so you're going to get what you're looking for. But you still may be not getting as much content, as metal content as you should be. You should be. Think about it. When you double up the copper, you should be doubling up the price, or close to it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway. You're probably not going to get screwed to new concepts. They build good stuff. I've used a lot of their stuff. Dre said, I'm late, but I'm in the building. Welcome to the building, man. How long we've been going? I don't even know. I usually have that. Oh, okay. All right. 46 minutes. Let's see. Jason, reusing the Colossus wire about 15 years ago. Yeah. That's why I said they're good stuff. Can you change the ohm of a sub with a recon without having any problems? It depends. If the sub has a wide enough gap to accommodate a slightly different thickness coil, for example, if you go from a 1 ohm, quote, just a single coil 1 ohm sub, and you're going to a 2 ohm sub, you're going to end up with more windings and a thicker. And then also, the thickness of the wire may change to accommodate the more windings to get the ohm load right. What it boils down to is if the new subwoofer cone and coil will fit in the gap without rubbing anywhere and have enough room to actually physically move without any rubbing, then yes, you can. That's the answer. So you have to get it to know whether you can use it or not, because you literally got to put it in there and test it. And if it's rubbing, it's just gonna go bad on you. But yes, that is possible. Bobby said, as long as you get it to the firewall. Yeah, no doubt, man. That's a big old fire hose. 4-alt gauge is about the size of a pretty large a garden hose. It's a big old casing. Yep. Dr. Tanker. Go with that. I have a weird space behind my amp and the rear of my SUV. And I dropped a tiny socket back there, and I can't get it because I'm afraid I'm going to move from the base and blow something up. It's probably a 10 millimeter because that's how 10 millimeters go to die. Whenever you buy them at the store, when they finally die, it's because they get lost someplace, usually in a cubby back in there. Get you a magnet and get in there and get it. If you can't get in there, get it out. If you can't get it out, get you some spray foam and stick a straw way down in there and spray foam around where it's at, and at least it'll stay stationary. That's my jam right there. Yeah, that's my suggestions. Massive is one of those strange brands I'd avoid. Some of their stuff is bad, other stuff unknown. I agree with both of those statements. Depends on a lot of things. What sub is it? Recon, factory, yep, same thing. So usually you just need to be an experienced builder that can match up the right size coil. Exactly. It's a hit and miss. A lot of the higher end stuff has a very tight coil gap. So as an example, the newer big boy kicker subs, you can't switch to a different ohm load. the gap between the coil and the motor is just way too tight, and changing it out will cause it to rub. A lot of them they will, some of them they won't. It is what it is. Bobby says same door. Okay. The inner door panel comes off to expose the inner shell. Oh, gotcha. Okay. I'm with you now. He was correcting my assessment of his sound deadening. Yeah, magnetic wand, yeah. Or expanded foam with the straw. Stick that straw down in there and just and, it ain't going nowhere once it gets some foam packed around it. It'll stay put. Bobby's blowing the doors off that bill. Got you. Those doors look sick. Agreed, man. They do. They do. Fuego is on fire. Let's see what else we got going on down here. Walled Jenny. Can't wait till Slapz gets Oblivion's 15D4 back in stock. What is this? What is the day? Is it the 27th? By my understanding, is that the shipment is supposed to be hitting the docks around the 30th. But, we're dealing with cargo containers, so is what it is. They're supposed to be hitting the docks around the 30th, so, given a week or two, you can expect to maybe, if things are going well, somewhere between the 7th and the 15th. That'd be my guess. And that's just a complete out of the blue guess, but it is what it is. I've been trying to stay on top of it and find out what's going on. Oh man, these the Slapz mids that I put in the doors, bang, zoom. I've got them playing from 60 hertz to 20K. Now I actually had to break them off. They will absolutely play as high as your ears can hear. I don't know if they're hitting 20K or not, but mine cut off around 16 or 17K. I pretty much don't hear much beyond that. And they will play. It sounds like tweeters. When they're on, just them by themselves, it sounds like they're on with a pair of tweeters on them. They have a really good range and really good upper mid bass. That 60 hertz is really good and solid. It's got nice drums, good, solid, warm mids to them. So I'm impressed with them. They're doing a bang up job, especially considering the price. I mean, holy crap, dude. And you'll hear them tomorrow, man. Don't worry. I know you're listening. Let's see. Just you can't go wrong with new concepts. Oh yeah. He said back in stock. Yeah, absolutely, man. I can't either because everybody wants them and they're not there. So, Lee said, "Good evening." I don't try to pronounce last names sometimes because I would just botch it and make myself sound like an idiot, which I already do sound like an idiot. So there you go. We already got that covered. Good evening to you too. Well, Jim and I agreed. I was just looking at those from my 2000 tracker build. Mm-hmm. Jamming on, baby. I love them. I've been beating the snot out of them. And guys, they don't care. They just keep playing. And I am really abusing the crap out of these subs. I'm going deep into clipping on a regular basis and giving them lots of dirty power. They do not care. If you treat them right, man, they'll freaking last forever. And because I'm giving them all kinds of nasty things. When I said I test stuff, if it's working for me, there's nothing that you're going to do to it that's going to be worse than what I'm doing to it. So just that's the way it always is. I'm rough on everything. I give it a full plate and then add some more on top, and we just let the dog eat. You know what I'm saying? That's how I roll. When I'm doing demos, man, the clip light will be on constantly for like a whole song. Like steady on, not even flashing, just brightly lit and on. So and then you'll get out, and this guy will get in, and I'll do it again. If it holds up for me, you'll have no problems. Um, I'm just being real, man. No sense in bullshitting, right? Scotty, Dugatti said, "What's up?" What is up, Scotty? And why did that stupid little pop-up thing happen? There we go. Scotty, there he is. Scotty said, "My love, my Sundown SA-12. SA series is a really good spot for Sundown. They're not ridiculously expensive. You're getting a lot of subwoofer for a reasonable amount of money. It's a great subwoofer for them. They're good subs. I still have a Rockford Fosgate Punch 150 HD from the early 90s. Thanks to David Kozlik. Don't know the name. I should know the name. I'm sure that's important, but I don't. I do remember the Punch series amps from the 90s. Oh, that's back when amps were amps, man. They were serious business back then. Jason's laying it down. Fuego was saying the 4 alt was $9 and the alt gauge was $4.75, so 2 runs of alt gauge. Yeah, there you go. Now the other question is, yeah, it's roughly the same price. The other question is, which one would you rather have? So, like a single 4 gauge is 1 run, so that makes it neater. But the alt gauge might be more versatile, having later on when you go pull this out and do something slightly different, being able to use a single alt gauge on something or an alt, having those smaller gauges might actually be more helpful. The other question would be is which one would actually conduct more power? Is the 4 alt or the 2 alt gauge? Which one has the least drop, and all that stuff. I can't answer those questions, but I do agree if you're getting a 4 alt the same price as the alt gauge or double the price of an alt gauge, as long as you're getting the wire, I think that's a good deal. Rockford is about to release their new amps, radically different design. A whole ton of new gear will be coming out over the next year or so. They've been working so hard behind the scenes. So here's the question, though. If you're in the Rockford Fosgate boardroom, right? Now you've got a line of stuff that does the job. It's been doing the job. The market that you feed is getting the same stuff. It's doing good. The market that you're handling, let's say you're handling the average consumer, the 2,000 watt guy with a single 12 or a couple of 12s. The 2,000 watt guy, you're handling that crowd, subbing the trunk, amplifier, new subs, amplifier, or new speakers, amplifier, done. And you're trying to pitch to the other guys in this boardroom. We need to spend millions of dollars on making a new line of amplifiers. How do you pitch that? The first thing they're going to say is, why? We already have a great line of amplifiers. You're going to say, well, because our sales are down. We need new equipment. We need new stuff. We need to keep up with the market of what's happening. And then the other guy in the room is going to say, the other market's buying all their stuff from China, parts picking, and we can't compete with their prices. So you, as the person bringing this to the table, have to go, how do you make that work? So the only way you could sell that is if, well, we are also going to be buying our stuff from there, and we're going to redesign it to be able to get a little more out of it with less money going into it. And we're going to make it look cool so everyone wants to buy it. Now you said money. Less money, more profit. They're listening to that. If you don't come to the table with that mentality, you're not going to get the board to agree with you. And because they don't want to invest all that money. What I'm getting at is if they are working hard and developing in the back room, it's because they want to make money, not because they want to build an awesome amplifier. It's because they want to make more money. So how is what they're doing going to make more money? When you see the amplifier, then you go, oh, okay. They made the price higher. It's a more expensive equipment. Yeah, okay. They're going to make more money. They have a better amplifier, more cost, more money. Or you see the amplifier and you go, oh, it kind of looks a little bit like something else. More profit, less expense to buy it. There's always a trade-off. And a company's developing, they're only going to develop for one reason, to make more money. But the question is, how are they making the money? Are they making a really expensive boutique product with a higher price tag, or are they making a similar product to what they're already running, but making it in a cheaper way where they can make more money? Companies don't spend money to make less money. Anyway, it's just always a thought. These are things people don't think about. The new design might be too radical even for me, and I'm a Rockford fan. All amps have a DSP and will be linkable, etc. Okay, so they're going to add more features, all right, so they can sell it for a higher price. That's how they're making money. If you figure that out, then you're good, right? There's always a reason, and the reasons are money. So you ask yourself, where's the money? And then you can understand what they're doing, what you're actually going to be getting when you make that purchase. Jason said, I got to go. Take care, everyone. Jason, you have a wonderful evening, sir. And let's see what else we got going on. Jason. Fuego says, my wife's daily driver sounds nice with Kicker KS all the way around and a Downfire 12 Comp RT on a Fosgate T1000 X5 AD amp. So a 1005 channel. It's a powerhouse. See, we got it. KS all the way around, the Downfire 12. Oh, that sounds like a really juicy, nice sounding setup, dude. That sounds like a great setup. Fuego says, El Fuego says, how much fuel did you burn in a year driving a truck? Oh God, dude. I can tell you that I could easily spend $600 to $800 every time I filled it up, and 300 gallons, probably about 600 gallons a week over the course of, and that week I'd run, maybe 3,000 miles, and then you could take that number and say, well, I drove well over 1 million miles. So there you go. I don't know, a lot. Fuel is crazy expensive, guys. Freaking crazy expensive. I mean, it's just the numbers are just absolutely staggering whenever you fill up a big truck. So Andy pops in, says he's a member for 7 months, level supporter. Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Andy. And of course, if you guys don't know about Living Now with Andy, you need to Google Living Now with Andy. And you see this little cartoon guy with Cookie Monster and all that stuff, get over there and watch his live show. He goes up on Tuesdays and Fridays. Living Loud with Andy, always a great show. And Andy, if you're still around, I explained in the beginning of this. You go back and rewatch this live, watch the first 10 minutes of it. I'll explain how I went through the problem you did, and I also what's happening and how you can get around that problem. So just so you know, if you didn't catch that. And thank you for being here, my friend. T. Corley. I have a 4-channel amp. It comes on, but when a speaker is connected, it shuts off. I tried a different speaker and ohm load, and it also shuts off, he says. Okay. I'm assuming that you had the same problem with a different speaker and ohm load. It shuts off when the speaker is connected. What would change So the question is, what changes when you hook a speaker up to it? You're making a connection over the positive and negative terminal. So ground wouldn't be an issue. And it's not dead shorting, because then it wouldn't work at all. Don't know, bro. That's tough. But as always, I always tell everybody, start by checking your grounds. Going to your ground, check your grounds. If the grounds are good, I don't know. That's the only thing I can tell you to check in that scenario is the grounds. That's the only thing that even remotely makes sense. Some kind of weird ground problem. The Rockford Fosgate power amps are expensive, but well worth it. They're nice amps, man. Yeah. And appreciate that. Andy, yeah, just watch the first little bit. But in a nutshell, the part that fails is the part that's assigning the stream to different platforms. So if you see that it's connecting to YouTube and then to whatever else, those that you see it connect to before it goes dead, it'll be connected. And then in the end, it'll say it failed, try again later. Don't try again later. Just close that window and then go over and open up your YouTube channel, go to live, and see if it shows up as your live on your YouTube channel. If it's showing up as a waiting live, scheduled live on your YouTube channel, you're good. All you have to do is go live like normal. That box is all about assigning the stream to different things. So that's what it does. And as long as your YouTube is showing up good, don't restart it. Don't retry it. Just roll with it and let everything else just go out the window. Because YouTube is where 99% of what's happening anyway. You might try reducing the amount of streams you're sending out to the bare minimum, have less problems. But that's what I ran into, and that's how I saw to work around that issue. And that's where the problem is. Anyway, guys, it has been real, and it has been good. It has been real good. And just one more for the road.
Crushing on these tacos, we by the fiesta. Guac on the side, man, you know it's the best. Lettuce and salsa, stack it high, make it pop. Crunch in my mouth, can't stop, won't drop. Skillet scissor in, flavors cold is so sweet. After one taco, I'm in for a repeat. Bite after bite, got me dancing in my seat. Hitting up the taqueria, can't face defeat.
Taco love in every single bite. Feeling good, every feast all night.
I love that. It is so funny. And you have a great weekend too. A great week, actually. And Andy, I'll see you on Tuesday. And I'll see the rest of you guys next Sunday. Y'all have a great freaking day.
Cruising down the back roads, windows roll low, with the music blasting, bass in that flow. Remembering the bonfire, laughing with my crew, jamming on the corner, soaking up the view. Every beat's a memory, every song's a spark, feeling so alive, yeah, out here in the dark. Cranking up the radio, rolling through life, loving making memories, music cranes high. Do you feel that freedom? Can you hear the call? Those back road memories calling to us all. The dreams are still burning, laughter is the same. Sound still echo loud, can you hear that name? Life was so electric, every day the song. Hearts on the highway, we to do no wrong. Chasing every sunset, world spin around. Living for the moment, man, we're going down. I can feel that fire still burning in my soul. When nobody's watching, I bring my rock and roll. Those back road memories calling to us all.
AI is taking over the world.